good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening to all of you. This is PSTV5 Plus, your official House of Musa podcast station, a special episode. This is Pia, once again back for another indulging conversations with our Musa advocates. So thank you so much for being here with us right now. And of course, sa pagsubaybay po from episode 1 up until now, we're on our episode 12 already for our special episode ng ating mga Musa models and of course our advocates. So with that po, I'd like to remind everybody that sponsors are still available, so you can check our House of Musa website and you can also purchase there the tickets available for our Flores de Musa this coming May 27. So ayun po, maraming salamat po once again. Wow, grabe. It has been a very grounding and at the same time fruitful experience, to say the least, having our Musa advocates share with us the wisdom that they have. And of course, right now I am pleased to interview yet another empowered woman, and of course a woman with purpose and a woman with passion. So there you have it po. Hindi na po ako magpapatagal pa. So she is a House of Musa New Zealand's catwalk coach, and of course the artistic director for the Flores de Musa in New Zealand, teacher Raine Symons. So ayan po, please give her a round of applause, virtual applause po. Hi,
Kamusta?
Raine. Kamusta po kayo? We're all good
Mabuti.
here.
Kamusta from New
Mabuti.
Zealand?
Of course. Now, well, Philippines right now here in our in my place, in my city, which is I'm from Cagayan de Oro po, so Bisaya ko.
Maayong buntag.
Salamat po. It's good afternoon here na po. So may
Oo nga.
hapon.
Hapon na.
Opo. So it's a bit rainy. It's, the weather's ganun, na parating umuulan, and then every once in a while may may napakainit talaga, ma'am. And ay nako, how about the weather there sa New Zealand po? Ano
It's
po
the
ba?
same. It's
Same.
maulan din dito. It's like the front is moving across all of the southern hemisphere, so it's the same.
I
But
see.
it's muggy, it's hot, and it's been nonstop raining. So we're in the same boat.
Well, thank you for that po. So, Ma'am Rain, can you please tell me more about yourself po, your culture, of course, the heritage that you have, and such.
So I was born in Los Baños, Laguna in the Philippines, and I was born during the end of the martial era. So during that time, nung pinanganak ako, I was a premature baby. So during that time in Laguna, it's like a province town about 2 hours away from Manila. Wala pang what do you call this? They don't have incubators in that area yet because it's a province. So I got my name from the chapel that my father was praying at to just like have me live, because I was the first child in the first child of the first child of the first child. So it was like a big thing for me to survive. So my mom was very young when she had me. She was 20, and I was not due for another 3 months. So I was very early, but they put me on a small basin, and they put me like on a bare bulb, like a chicken, when yung manok pagkabagong yung sisiyo, pagbago anak yung sisiyo, I looked like that. My mom didn't want to hold me because she was worried that she was going to drop me.
You're so
yeah,
fragile.
yes, but my dad always said that I was always a fighter, because he was like, well, we really knew that we were not going to have an easy ride with me. So yeah, it was a little bit like that.
And what? Wow, I'm speechless of that po. So, how did you end up in New Zealand right now, Miss Rain?
So when I was growing up, part of my work, I used to work for a company called Cytel in the Philippines, and I used to be part of the American business unit. Tapos at some point, na-promote to go into the Asia Pacific region. So when I became a training facilitator for Asia Pacific, kasama ako dun sa team na nagpupunta sa Australia, New Zealand to get products to transfer over to the Philippines for call centers and the like. So the reason why I moved to New Zealand was because the last time, I think on my last trip that I was here, I met my sister-in-law, and we worked together. She was the liaison officer for New Zealand, South for SciTel, and I was for the Philippines. And so we worked together closely on a project for about a year almost. And then she decided at the end of that, like, okay, I'm having you for my sister-in-law. Like this is the way it is. So I actually met her and her family before I even met my husband. So that's how I came to New Zealand.
Wow, what a process po. And I'm glad to see you right now very much comfortable in the place that you're in. Given that you've been in a
It took
very
time.
yeah, it
It
did.
took time. It took a while. It's hard because in the Philippines, you get into your niche and you're just like really comfortable where you are. When I left the Philippines, I had a very good day career. I was the training facilitator for Southeast Asia. I had a really good dance career. I was showing up on TV. I was doing commercials. So it was all like a big move for me to decide now, okay, I'm putting everything like, and just, it was a risk, a chance that I took, not for me, but for my daughter, because I wanted her to have a better life. So it was, I think the first 3 months, the adjustment for her was like, I want Yaya Snooki, I want Lola, I want like this. And I'm like, she would be crying and I'd be like, I want the Yaya Snooki too. I want her too.
That is
So
so
it took a
sweet.
while.
But how long have you been living in the New Zealand po?
So we moved here in 2000, end of mid 2008, early 2009, I think.
All right.
So I just had to finish all of the dance contracts that I had in the Philippines before I could leave. So
I
I
also
finished.
want to dig deeper on that aspect of your life, but later on. So,
Okay.
Raina, I would just also like to ask, paano niyo po ba na, how did you met your husband right now, your loving husband, very supportive husband, I believe.
He's, like I said, he's the brother of my coworker. So that's how I got to know him. Like, we both didn't get a choice. My sister-in-law decided that you're going to be part of my family. So it was like a done deal. Whether we liked it or not, we were it.
That is so cute po. So, right now po, I believe that I also noticed that you have a very extensive CV, ma'am. Such a multi-talented woman, to say the least. So, like, you're the senior dance member and teacher for Metropolitan Dance Masters in the Philippines. Also the teacher for UP Danza and Danza Philippines. Oh my gosh. Grabe, ang dami po affiliations and kudos for that po. So where are you harnessing this dedication po ba, Ma'am Raine?
Kasi I came from a middle class family that has very high expectations when it comes to education. I think every single family is like this. Like, the only way they see a way out of poverty or a way out to have a better life is for you to have really good education, diba?
I agree, especially Filipino culture.
Exactly. So you can't like, the society's expectation is you can't amount to anything if you don't have a degree or anything
Yeah.
like that. So it was out of that, because I started dancing because my mom told me I can't dance, and I started going dancing professionally because she said I wasn't good enough to be like a professional dancer. So a lot of the reasons why I started really was I was being stubborn, and I was just like, I will
You
not
proved
take
her
no for an
wrong.
answer. It was more of like, oh, well, I will not take no for an answer. And eventually, because you know how you are when you're a teenager, you're just like, you get into this one track mind, and you're just like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
prove everybody wrong. So when it came to the point that it wasn't just an outlet for me, it became like a big motivating factor for every decision that I made. So it turned out okay in the end. So it wasn't just a mad obsession about something.
Well, that's so nice because I'd like to say I just really like to say that what your mother's perception about you dancing and stuff and pursuing that, but you proved her wrong, and at the same time,
It, a
I
lot of
forgot.
it a lot
Go
of
ahead.
it doesn't really have to say like she didn't say like you it was more because we didn't have the capability and the financial capacity to pay it. Like back in the day, this is way back in the 80s, you
Yeah.
either go to school and you don't do any extracurricular activities. Not unlike today, like the generation of today is very lucky. Like they have got all these extracurricular sports. They have got all these programs at school that they can go to. Like back in the day, we don't have those access to those things. So for me to be able to dance, it means that extra money that will be put into my dancing gear, my dance. So that's the reason why she didn't want me to dance. So
It's a
I grew
blessing
up.
in disguise.
Yeah. So I grew up because I wanted it so bad. I didn't want to burden her or my family with the costs involved. So I would do anything to really like go after it.
Such a strong heart. I mean, your passion for that is really strong that you're able to, pursue what you really want. So with that, Ma'am Rain, how can you reach out to people and like inspire them, especially those who also want to take the steps that you're embarking on right now?
I mean, I've always thought growing up that I was weird because I was like, my family was very academic. Everybody around me was academic. I went to UP Rural High School. I went to UP Los Baños. So it's like the biggest, like the tallest pinnacle. You have to go to UP. Like there's no other option for any other school for you. It's either UP or I think it was still like the creative arts, which was the high school for the arts. Those were the only two options. And even then, I wasn't allowed. So I wanted to be able to give opportunities to others that was given to me. Because when I was struggling, I wanted it. The opportunities weren't there. I had to go look for the opportunity. Like I would jump on a bus, go to Manila, attend dance classes, earn money to go to dance classes and things like that. But nowadays, it's harder for the youth of today to do that because they everything's at their fingertips. You have got social media, everything is there. So the influence of the discipline, the influence of what they have around them, it's so easy to sway somebody to being somebody they're not. So I wanted to make a change, and like this is why I have started dance groups, not necessarily because I have always felt that being poor, being financially not capable to pay for something is not a reason for you to go without. Like for you to pursue your dreams, for you to pursue your
I
passions.
agree.
And I
Really
strongly
the
believe,
grit to pursue passion.
yes, and I strongly believe that the arts is a much harder genre or a much harder field to get into than it is with science or any other academic field, because everybody's smart. Everybody can be book smart, but to last in an artistic field, it takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, I agree to that, Ma'am Rain, because also like here in the Philippines, it's really like I don't know if it's called a stigma, but sometimes people in the arts, people in design, they're you know undervalued. I really believe
Very.
that. Even
And
in my
underestimated.
underestimated,
Yes,
under what do you call this? Underpaid also.
correct.
So even me, I'm actually a communication student. I took technology communication management. So the opportunities here in the Philippines, it's unfortunately not as much as whereas like compared to sciences, people in the
Yes.
medical field, people in the engineering field. So yeah, I really hope also that our country, our culture would put more emphasis and importance on
Mm.
other careers that people
Cultural
can.
cultural identity
Mhm.
is the soul of any community, and once that's gone, it just really takes a lot of the spirit of that community. So
Yeah,
it's just like they people like kids start they don't start spouting like EMC squared, like, unless they're a bona fide genius. But
Exactly.
every single child like starts by like making stories, like singing,
Mm-hmm.
dancing,
Mm-hmm.
creating. So creating something is in our genes. Like it's the
Yeah.
same as everybody else.
Oh, that's really nice. I love that kind of, thinking. That's, I
Hmm.
mean, it sparks a lot of creative juices also. So with that
Yes,
memory,
exactly.
I'd also just like to ask, what made you decide to be a part of House of Musa?
So I actually got into House of Musa through Carmela. So when I moved to Palmerston North, so I was not very outgoing in terms of like going into the Filipino community and trying to create bridges,
Mm-hmm.
because I was too busy trying to survive on my own and trying to like get my family going and things
Make a
like that.
living also.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. So Carmela was one of the few Filipino families that I have met when I've come here and had made a relationship with. So
Mm-hmm.
in Palmerston North, there's a few of us that have a really good, and it's not through any publicly organization or anything like that. It's more of like a family affiliation that like we've adopted each other as family. So she is one of my good friends. And then when I think 2016, 15 was when I first started working with her. She brought Ray Valera to New Zealand
Ooh.
for a concert. So she asked me then to be the MC and then asked me to choreograph some of the dance numbers, like to go for the intermission. And that's when I first started working with her. So she had always been the face of like in the community, like trying to do like social service and things like that. That's not I'm more the person behind the scenes. Like, being in front and being the face of something is not my thing. I'd rather be the one like moving things behind the scenes or directing or things like that. Like I'd rather people shine in front of the camera. So I liked
Which is
being
just,
behind the scenes and supporting her and things like that. So
mm-hmm.
when she went to Mrs. Universe, like myself and a few other people, Mayette, we were part of her team to help her like take her journey to go forward, because she didn't have the background or the that she didn't know what to expect. So I sort of like, okay, I'll give you my time, like let's do this. Do you really want to do this? Why do you want to do this? And she wanted to do it to be able to have a bigger platform to reach more people. So that's how I started with Musa. So it's with committing to the same people with the same vision for outreach.
And I'd also just like to add, Ma'am Rain, like your position was as important as being, in front of the crowd. So I really appreciate and kudos to all people like backstage
Mm.
supporting and giving, like shout
There
out to
won't
my
be a show.
technical,
Yes,
exactly. There won't
exactly.
be a
There won't be
show
a
without you
show.
guys. So shout out to my
Yes.
technical team, the Nicole. Hi. So thank you so much
Nicole's
for.
what's making everything go.
I know. I mean, I'm so thankful for her. I wouldn't be here right now. You and I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for her support as well. For her technical abilities. So,
Exactly.
of course, Ma'am Rain, what initiatives would you like to consider doing? As an advocate for the House of Musa, and also knowing that you're a part of the, what do you call this? What was that again? Like the dance team?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
coach
at
and
the
artistic
moment,
director.
I am artistic director for Raine Suavecitas, which is a Latin performance dance team. And we have got two teams. We've got the youth team, which is 17 years and under. And we have got the adult team, obviously 18 years and over. I believe the youngest at heart we have is about 43, 42. So it's a big range of capabilities. What Suavecitas is about is a dance team. It's not a dance school. So like all profits, when we do something, I started Rain Suavecitas because I wanted to help young females be more confident, be strong, know who they are, have a clear direction of what they want to do. And I found a lot of the tools that had helped me become who I am today came from the discipline of dance, training, dedication, all of that perseverance, like even the hard headedness that like, you're like, no, like persevering to the end. So I have found a need in my community here in Palmas North because obviously Kiwi culture is very different to Filipino culture, and a lot of the Filipino culture of adhering to the seniority and listening, like a lot of that values they don't normally like have any access to, or they're not familiar with. So I've created that dance theme with that in mind, and I believe that if we're now on seventh generation of dancers, and I think we're like sixth year for the Suavecitas. The best thing that they have, like, I'm hoping that through this genre of dance group, like when I can't move anymore, then there will be another conduit to pass the knowledge on, or the knowledge base, and these kids will be the next future of New Zealand when it comes to Latin dance.
Yeah.
The other group is Pamanlahi, which stands for Pamanang Lahi, for the Filipino culture. So it's not open to just the Filipinos here, but also to the Kiwis, to other nationalities. We've got some Thai, some Vietnamese also in the group. We talk, it's all free. So the kids the only thing the kids have to worry about is turning up for practice. They get training session. We teach them Filipino manners, sometimes Filipino games. They get snacks because everybody loves to eat. And they do performances.
A universal language.
Yes, and they do cultural performances around Palmas North. So we're reaching our 10th year anniversary this year. So come November, we're Pamanlahi is turning 10 years. So that's 10 years of it empowering a lot of Filipinos and non-Filipinos to, learn more about the culture. Yes, and come together. So I run this with two amazing ladies, Mayet and Rhea. So Mayet is my liaison coordinator for everything that has got to do with admin, and Rhea has everything that has got to do with financial aspect, like how are we going to generate the money and anything like that. And everything with the artistic direction of the team is up to me. So training, performances, collaborations, and things like that. So, I mean, I can't do what I want to do just by myself. I always have the help of other people. I mean, you can't just walk forward by yourself. You need a whole community beside you.
Exactly. So. I quite agree to that. And also, Ma'am Raine, I'm just quite curious about what you said, that of course, obviously, Kiwi culture and Philippine culture are quite different, but where are you seeing this silver lining, harnessing your values and instill them as a Musa model, or like as someone also in this career?
At the end of the day, you can talk all you want. You can be whatever you want to be, but actions speak louder than words. If you don't walk the walk, it's not going to be as impressive as someone like showing you. So, I try to use my voice. Like right now, how I am in front of you is how I am in real life all of the time. I'm very frank. I'm very upfront with how I feel and how I see things. And of everybody that knows me, they know me the same way. I'm very, very proud of using my voice. Whether it's something you want to hear or not, I'm not afraid to use my voice. And I want the kids that are going through the program of either Suavecitas or Pamanlahi to have that same confidence in their voice. I mean, being a Musa advocate is my nod to my heritage, to my Filipino culture, my Filipino heritage, helping my whole life, it's always been, how to get ahead, how to improve, not just for me, but for my next generation, for my kids. How do I improve my way of life so that my kids will have an easier life than I had? And I think every single parent has that. So trying to live a life with integrity and showing the values. I mean, obviously, I'm not a perfect human being. There will be days that I'm going to have an off day, but taking ownership of that and taking accountability for the fact that, okay, I'm not perfect today, and today I'm a little bit messed up, but being aware of it and being accountable for it and
Ah,
doing things
I
with
agree.
integrity, I think that's the best example that I can leave behind, because if
I
somebody
love
else
that.
sees me doing it, then somebody else will be empowered to do it the same way. Maybe
Exactly.
with or without makeup, with or without all the trimmings. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can be a queen in any situation regardless of what you wear. But your
I
voice
agree
is
so
the
much.
biggest weapon that you have.
That's lovely, Ma'am Rain, because you're not just having this values within yourself, but you're like also teaching your students, your of course your kids and anyone really to have like, use their voice to have a positive
Yes.
impact. Thank you so much for that, Ma'am Rain. And of course, right now I would just like to ask you, tell me one thing that you're always going to bring with you after the Flores de Musa fashion show.
Um, like after, it's always
Yeah.
going to be the people. It's always, I seem to have this habit of collecting people. After every project, whatever project it is, whether it's something that I do for free or something that I get paid to do, it's the people that comes with it that is the real treasure. Like, you have connections with people, you have experiences with people that I don't know who I'm going to touch with my everyday life, but these people that have, created a link with that journey for me for that millisecond of time. And then they go, it's knowing that you've touched somebody else. I mean, for Flores de Musa this coming May, we're going to have people come from all over, not just from Australia, the States, like, all over New Zealand. Some Filipinos are coming as well. So we're going to have everybody coming over. And to know that you've made an impact in somebody's life and they go away and make an impact in somebody else's life, that's one thing that would always be, like the best takeaway out of any experience.
And there you have it, viewers. Of course, Ma'am Raine Symons here with us right now, sharing with us her wisdom and, of course, her passion, her heart for for the career that she has right now. So thank you so much, Ma'am Rain. And of course, before we're not done yet po, we're gonna have a different segment naman po. I hope
Oh,
you are
sige.
familiar with Fast Talk by Boy
Okay,
of Mina.
game.
This is inspired by that. So yeah, I think you already know the mechanics. Let's go right in.
Okay.
Tara. Okay, green or blue?
Blue.
Blue. Brands or eco-friendliness?
Eco-friendliness.
Sustainable or fashionable?
Sustainable.
Traditional or modern?
Traditional.
Yun. Have world peace or stop world hunger?
Stop world hunger.
Okay. Be a queen or be an advocate?
I'm always a queen. Be an
Ah?
advocate.
Wow, I love that. I'm always a queen, so I'm gonna be an advocate. Ayun, per. So what excites you right now po, Ma'am Rain?
Like 2023 has been very interesting in terms of opportunities that had come my way to make a mark and leave a mark in the world. So there's this Flores de Musa. And we have got a few events also coming up. I'm excited about Pamanlahi turning 10 years old, because that means that there's several generations of Filipino youth that had grown up with the Pamanlahi culture that we feel that we're really passing, the cultural heritage on. And I'm really looking forward for that coming November.
I also like be the best for that, ma'am.
Mm.
Congrats in advance po. So of course, next po, which is what are you looking forward to right now?
So at the moment, other than, trying to make sure things like work well for Flores de Musa, we've got that coming up on the 27th of May. I have New Zealand Salsa Congress happening on the first weekend of June, which is like literally a week after Flores de
Yeah.
Musa. So it's right back to back with that. And then after that, it's just a lot of different events within New Zealand. So doing South Island Championships, New Zealand Latin Dance Championships, and then we have got Bay Salsa Festival happening as well. Bay Salsa Festival is a New Zealand initiative where the instructors, all the dance teachers within the country, they come together so that they can fundraise for New Zealand competitors and artists who want to compete for New Zealand outside of the country. And I feel like that's one of the core things that I believe in, and like, like not having no money ever hinder you from trying to do things. So that's one of the big events that I'm a big supporter of.
Well, thank you so much for that, Ma'am Raine. I hope you stay safe, of course, and stay healthy because you have a lot of things on your plate right now.
Oh, don't
Which
worry.
is a good
I'm
thing.
very healthy.
And
New Zealand has made me very healthy.
That's really good to hear. Po. So next we have, if there were no rules in your life and you could be outrageous, so what would you do?
I want to travel. Like in one day, I want to travel every place in the world that I can get some dancing done. I want to go to Argentina to learn how to do a proper Argentine tango. I want to walk the streets of Brazil to learn how to do a proper samba gaffiera and samba nope. I want to, that's what I wanted to do. Not necessarily maybe for everybody, but like dancing had really impacted the way I lived my life. And I wanted to go back to the origins of all of it. Also going back to the Philippines and going up to the Ifugao, going up to all the indigenous people that have started all the cultural heritage. So not just worldwide, I also want to go in the Philippines as well.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ma'am Raine. Of course, next, what do you hope will be the defining characteristics of your legacy? And I would just like also to add that your passion is really up there, and I love that about you.
I think everybody that knows me knows how passionate I am with dancing and with that. But I also want to pass on the fact that empowerment comes from within yourself. It doesn't come from all the external factors. You never get it by doing the easy way out. Like you need to have a sense of reason why you're doing things. You need to be not complacent and always strive to do something better or aim for a goal, like whatever small goal it is. Like it could be just like, surviving this week, but there always has to be a goal that you're traveling towards so that you get yourself to push towards that goal. I wanted my discipline for the dance and my love for the dance to translate into other avenues of my life and how other people that I interact with and how they perceive themselves and how important they are in the big scheme of things. Like I wanted not just me to shine, I wanted everyone that I come in contact with to do the same.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Ma'am Raine. I can relate to you. But if you're passionate with dancing, I'm also passionate with writing as well. So it's
corrected by.
Yeah. So I can really relate to, doing something you love, you're passionate about, and not, if you're doing something that you're most passionate about, you don't really feel like, I'm tired of this already.
Exactly.
And stuff.
Yes.
Because you're doing something you love. And I also would also want anyone out there to do something that they're passionate about.
But there's always like times that there's disheartening moments. It's not all like, glamour and be like, I'm going to be like this strong person, blah, blah, blah. There are times that you get like...
Burn out ka.
Oh, so it's just having that drive to like get over the slump. So there will always be downsides. Like with any high, like you always get a low. So it's just riding the low so that you can get to the next wave.
I agree. Thank you so much, Ma'am Raine. And with that, to end our interview right now, I would just like to ask, what is your message to young minds like us? Anyone who's watching our interview right now?
Stay true to yourself. Use your voice for what you most believe in, whether it's to to protect something, whether it is to advocate for something, whether it is to rally behind something, use your voice for the better good. Believe in yourself, because nobody else is going to be your best cheerleader other than yourself. And whatever happens in your life, like, let yourself be the reason why you are who you are. Like, don't let external factors like lack of food, lack of training, lack of opportunities be the barrier. Like, if there's no opportunity there, look for the opportunity, create the opportunities for you to move forward. Don't remain complacent in one place and just think, oh, this is the best that I can be. You can always become better than where you are right now.
Yan. Thank you so much, Ma'am Rain. Ayun, mga viewers, no? Once again, always strive for excellence po. So, once again, thank you so much, Ma'am Rain, for gracing us in this conversation with, together with PSTV5 Plus po. So, right now po, I'm gonna give you a spotlight to, promote anything that you'd like to promote, shout out anything or anything at all. So go ahead, the floor is yours po.
Well, thanks everybody for watching this corridor. We're hoping that you have enjoyed the segments that we have had on all of our model advocates. We would like to invite you to support and watch the Flores de Musa fashion show on the 27th of May. It's going to be held in Palmerston North, and I believe it will be streamed online live. We are trying to use this as a platform to highlight sustainability. I'd also like to do a shout out for upcoming events that we have got in New Zealand. We've got the South Island Latin Dance Championships happening in September. We have got the Bass Salsa Festival happening in October, and we have got the New Zealand Latin Dance Championships happening in November. And we also have the New Zealand Salsa Congress, where the rest of the country comes together so that we can learn from international artists and select from that who will be competing and performing for New Zealand. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's chat. And if you are in doubt, or if it's at a point that you're like, that you feel like everything's just too much, just, you're never alone. There's always people behind you, supporting you, with you.
Yay! Once again, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Rain, for, gracing us, and of course, I'm sorry for the lack of a better word, but for showing us your wisdom po, especially the things that we just talked about earlier. So ayun po, thank you so much, Ma'am Rain, and of course, please do not forget po sa mga viewers namin to like, share, and subscribe PSTV5 and all our social media platforms po. And of course, go ahead and check out House of Musa website for the tickets. And yeah, go purchase. If you want to sponsor, you can also contact our contact person there. So thank you again po. This has been Pia signing off. Salamat po, Ma'am Rain. Bye
Thanks,
po.
Pia. Thanks, Nicole. See ya.